In this video, we're going to take a look at the Yeti weather tab. So down below, you're going to see now a tab that says weather. So the weather data that's provided here is coming from WeatherWorks. And what we're providing in all cases is going to be forecast data. Now, before we get to this point, I should note that to use the WeatherWorks integration, you're going to have to go to Weather Bundles, select a bundle, up to 10, size 25, etc. And then once you've done that, you'll go to Sites. You'll then choose a site, and then you'll toggle on Store and Display Weather Forecast Data. So once you've done that, we'll go back to the Weather tab here, and you'll now be able to see those sites that you've turned on. Now, just to be clear, when you turn those sites on, it will take a few minutes for them to appear on the map and in the forecast tabs up at the top here. One other thing to mention before we start taking a closer look is that this data provided by WeatherWorks is forecast data. This does not include the certified snow totals. Now, first tab we'll have would be the map tab. And what you're going to be able to see here are forecasted highs and forecasted lows. So, for instance, we have a site here. If I click on the site, I can see now the 24-hour forecast at that site. You'll have both low temp and ground temperature forecasts. Ground being purple, low temp in this case being green. When I click out of here, well, before I do that, I should mention you also have the hourly option. So at this site now, you're able to see current temp along with forecasted temperatures. Now you can see currently this is blue, and then once we go forward, it turns red. I'll pull up my legend down below, and you'll see that you can set a legend. So in my case, if a site is above 1 degree Celsius, it's going to be represented in blue. If that site's forecasted low is below or equal to 1 degree Celsius, it's going to be yellow. And if the forecasted low is below or equal to 0 degrees Celsius, and you can change these, by the way, that site is going to be represented as red. And I can show the site names too if I want to see that, but you may want to keep that off to avoid cluttering the map, depending on how close your sites are. You can go ahead and zoom in and zoom out on that map as you would any other map in Yeti. The next tab we'll have up top here is the 24-hour forecast. Now on all of these tabs, you're going to have the option, much like in your reports, to filter these out. So I can click on a filter and I can search by minimum and maximum. I can search by site. But we'll go ahead and give this a second here to load. And now you'll be able to see the 24-hour forecast for all of your sites that you've turned on. So I'll be able to see the current and then next 24 hours as well. Additionally, we'll have a 72-hour forecast. And so we'll be able to see here each of our sites, current temp, evening temp, overnight, into the next few days. You'll also have a history tab. Now the history tab is going to allow you to pull forecast data for forecasts that have already occurred. The unique thing about this particular tool is that it's going to allow you to see what was forecasted instead of the actual totals, actual temperatures rather. What this would allow you to do, if you go ahead and filter, and I'll just go from we'll do the first to the second here. I'm now going to be able to see every forecasted piece of weather data for that period of time. And when I do that, I'll be able to use those reports to go ahead and pull that data if I need to prove why I did or did not service a site based on the contract that I may have with that client. So that'll all be available for you. You can download that spreadsheet. You can filter this by site too. I clearly just filtered it by day and time. Now, much like the other Yeti reports, you will also have a column configuration. So right now, I have these items turned on, but if I want to turn on or off any of these other items, I certainly can. And I can also adjust the order in which these occur. So if I want to see the time before the name of the site, for instance, I can do that, hit save, and that's then going to bring the time furthest to the left with the site following after. The last item we'll have here are notifications. So if you would like to, you can set up users in your account to receive notifications. Now in this case, we're going to display and send notifications based on threats, advisories, and wintry weather as deemed so by WeatherWorks. So if WeatherWorks deems that there is a threat, an advisory, or wintry weather on a site, we will then send you a notification letting you know about those items. So that's a look at what the Yeti weather tool is going to do for you. If you have any questions about it, please reach out to support@yetisnow.com.